Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the finals. So without further ado, my name is Safe. We're just gonna jump right into the settings. We don't want to waste anyone's time with introductions and all that baloney. Okay, so if you go into your settings, use enemy team colors, keep that on. The reason you want to keep that on is because you want to be able to differentiate the different teams that are around you. So for example, red, green, blue, all that sort of stuff. If you have it off, they're just gonna be one color. So make sure to keep that on. That's very important. Hide player names, keep that off. It doesn't really matter. It's just whether you wanna see player names or not. I just keep it off because yeah. Preferred region, you can keep it as automatic if you want, or if you want to just keep it centric to a specific location. Like, for example, I'm in Europe, I just kept it in Europe. If you're in America, you can keep it in North America. Crossplay, keep that on. Width, if you increase the width, it just becomes a little bit bigger. So it's totally up to you. I just keep the crosshair width as 1 because that's what works for me. Outline width, same exact thing. The black borders around the crosshair, they just become a bit bigger. So I like keeping them at around 1 or 2, totally up to you at the end of the day. Red, again, this depends on you and what color you like. I really like green because I feel like it just goes so well with the background of most maps, so I just have it as green. So if you just play around with these, you can always change the colors to whatever kind of suits you better. So yeah, if you want to get green, you just put green all the way to the max and everything else 0. Okay. Center dot, make sure to keep that on because you want to be able to see this little dot in the center. The center dot radius, keep that as 2 or 3, up to you. You don't want to make it too big because the bigger you make it, the bigger it becomes as well. So you don't want to make it this big. Just keep it something reasonable, maybe 2 or 3. I keep it as 3. Opacity, I've tried 50, I've tried 100. I felt like 85, which is by default, it's in the game, it's 85. It works really well, so I've just kept it as 85. Okay, we're gonna ignore the controller settings because I'm not a controller player. I haven't used a controller in a while. Mouse and keyboard, just keep that as 50. As we add into new guns to the games with scopes and stuff, we can end up playing around with this. Multiplayer as well, so just keep that as 50 and 100%. Mouse focal length sensitivity, keep that as on. Mouse invert to vertical look input, make sure that is off. Everything else by default works as well. If you want to change anything, you can always change it on your own. Let's move to accessibility. Accessibility, I have colorblind mode on default, but sometimes I really like the Triantopia. I can't pronounce it. The reason I like that is because I just really like how unique the colors are. So you end up getting some really good colors that really work with your eyes very well. So sometimes I keep it as this, sometimes I keep it on default. So it's totally up to you. But yeah, they're both really good colors. Over here, subtitles, I like keeping them on because I enjoy reading the subtitles at the very bottom. Subtitle background opacity, make sure that's 0, otherwise you're going to get a black background behind these subtitles. Okay, subtitle text size, make sure that is small. Motion blur, make sure that is disabled. Crosshair stuff, we've seen it, so we're not going to go through that again. Audio, in the audio, totally up to you. I like keeping the master volume on 100. Music volume, you can make it 0, like what a lot of people do. I usually don't mind it, so I keep it on 100. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to keep it on 0. Sound effects, you can keep it on 100, just so you can hear everything around you that's in the game. Dialogue volume, people sometimes get distracted or annoyed by the person that's talking, the commentary that's happening in the game, although I think it's quite important to have. So I keep it personally on 100, but you can keep it on 60 or 70 if it's bothering you. Definitely don't turn it into 0 because you want to be able to hear what's happening, you know? I think that's very important. Output mode, make sure you have stereo headphones. Night mode, I kept that as off. Subtitles again, on, so keep that the way it is. Keep that small, keep that 0. Enable voice chat, make sure that is on. Voice chat enabled for, you can keep it as all or friends only or whatever. I usually keep it for all so that you can so that you're able to communicate with everyone around you. Open microphone if you don't want to press on a button. Otherwise, if you want to press on a button, you just press on push to talk. Voice chat input device, make sure that is your microphone, the microphone that you're using. Okay. Otherwise, just keep it on the default setting. Which usually is just your microphone name anyway. Voice chat output device, that is your headphones basically. Just make sure you have that selected. And voice chat output volume, I like keeping that as 100, just so you're able to kind of hear everyone around you when they speak. Okay, let's move on to video. This is the most important part. Over here, you want to keep that full screen. Full screen is very important. Resolution, make sure it's as stretchy as possible. For me, 1920 by 1080 does wonders. So I've kept it the same way. I know some people like going for 1600 by 900. I don't know, it doesn't really work for me. So I've just kept it as a 1920 by 1080. I feel like it does wonders. Keep this on disabled. NVIDIA reflex low latency, make sure that is on. It does make a very big difference when it's on and off. So make sure that that is on. Over here by default, most people have it on NVIDIA DLSS for the resolution scaling method, but trust me, go for TAAU. Okay, it's so much better. I've tried them all, and the TAAU definitely gave me the best frame, so I'm just going to keep that the way it is. Field of view, I think by default it's like 60 or 70 if I recall correctly. Make sure that is 100 so that you're able to see everything around you, because it's a game that really requires you to just be able to see everything. So make sure this is 100. Motion blur, make sure this is disabled. Lens distortion, make sure that is disabled for just distractions. For this, usually it is on dynamic medium or dynamic high, depending on how good your PC is. Make sure this is static. Again, when it's static, it has the lowest performance cost, so it's really, really, really good to just use it. You know what I mean? Overall quality level, don't worry about that. That's basically how we're going to control everything. So for view distance, make sure that is low. Anti-aliasing, make sure that is low. Shadows, make sure that is low. Post processing, make sure that is low. Textures does not affect that much your FPS. Actually, I've noticed that even if you keep it as high or whatever, it's fine. But I just like keeping it as medium, just so I'm able to see everything properly. Effects, make sure that is low. Foliage, make sure that is low. Global illumination resolution, make sure that is low. Okay. And that is it, guys. I hope this video was quick, to the point, and that you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. We're gonna be making a lot more videos such as this in the future. Take care, guys. Bye bye.